Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to another episode of Awaken Your Authentic Self. I am so grateful you're here today sharing this sacred space with me. I want you to take a breath with me right now. Right now. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Let yourself arrive because today's journey is going to be a deep one and a little longer than usual. We are exploring the magic, the mystery, and the healing power of crystals. Now, let me be real for a moment. Crystals are one of those things that either light you up the second you hear the word or make you raise an eyebrow and think, really? You want me to believe a rock is going to heal my trauma? And you know what? That's okay. Wherever you fall on the spectrum, you're welcome here. Because today, I'm not just going to tell you what crystals can do. I'm going to guide you into how they connect you to your healing journey, how they bridge the physical and the spiritual, and how you can actually work with them in a way that's real, embodied, and powerful. Now listen, crystals are not magic pills. They're not going to suddenly solve all your problems. You can't just buy a rose quartz, stick it in your bra or pocket, and expect Prince or Princess Charming to appear at your door with a latte and a soulmate contract. But what crystals do is support you. They amplify your energy. They reflect back to you what you're ready to see, heal, or release. They are allies, not saviors. And when you learn to treat them as partners on your healing path, something incredible happens. You start noticing subtle shifts. Your intuition sharpens, your body relaxes, your energy feels clearer. So, in today's episode, we're going to go on a full crystal journey. We'll dive into the history of crystals, their role as healing allies, how to actually use them, how to care for them, and how they connect us both to our very human physical 3D reality and the vast spiritual multidimensional self that we are. So, grab a cup of tea, light a candle if you feel called, maybe even just hold your favorite crystal in your hand while you listen, and let's begin. Let's start at the beginning. Crystals, they're not new. They're not just a spiritual trend. They came with Instagram aesthetics and witchy TikTok. Humans have been working with crystals since the dawn of civilization. And not because they were pretty or cool, but because people felt their power. The ancient Egyptians used lapis lazuli for protection and spiritual vision. They believed it opened gateways to the divine and was even buried with pharaohs as a guide to the afterlife. Cleopatra herself was said to have ground malachite into powder to create her eyeshadow, not just for beauty, but for its energetic properties of protection and transformation. In indigenous cultures across the Americas, stones like turquoise have been long sacred, used in ceremonies, medicine bundles, and jewelry as symbols of wisdom and connection to the sky and earth. In Tibet, clear quartz was considered the stone of light, often used in malas for meditation. And then we get into even older, more mysterious histories, Lemuria and Atlantis. Now, whether you believe these ancient civilizations or not, there's strong stories and teachings that these advanced cultures used crystals not just for healing, but for technology. Crystal grids powering entire cities, storing knowledge, even being used for interdimensional communication. Crystals as the original hard drives. And honestly, when you think about it, that's not even far-fetched. Because in our modern 3D world, we already use crystals for technology. Quartz inside your watch. I know you've heard of a quartz watch. That's because of its piezoelectric effect. It vibrates at a precise frequency when you apply pressure, and that frequency keeps time. Crystals are in your computer chips, in radios, in lasers. They are literally already the bridge between the physical and the energetic, the scientific and the spiritual. So, here's the way I like to put it. Crystals are the Earth's memory keepers. They've been forming for millions of years deep within the Earth under intense pressure and time. And isn't that a metaphor for our healing journey? Pressure and time shaping us, polishing us, bringing us clarity, brilliance, and strength. Crystals carry the Earth's story. And when you hold them, you're holding not just a pretty stone, you're holding vibration, memory, and wisdom encoded over millennia. Let's get a little personal here. Think about the first time you ever picked up a crystal. Maybe it was a metaphysical shop. Maybe someone gifted it to you. Maybe you found a stone outside that just spoke to you. Didn't it just feel different? Like it hummed a little in your hand? That's not just in your head. Crystals vibrate. And your body, which is mostly water, resonates with those vibrations. It's like when you strike a tuning fork and another fork nearby begins to hum at the same pitch. That's resonance. That's exactly what happens when you hold a crystal. Your energy starts to match the vibration of the stone. And here's the thing. Each crystal vibrates differently based on its structure, color, mineral content. That's why amethyst feels calming, citrine feels uplifting, and black tourmaline feels grounding. It's science and spirit woven together. So crystals have always been with us. They've been a part of ceremony, part of healing, part of evolution as human beings. And now, as we're remembering who we are, spiritual beings having this human experience, they're calling us back. They're saying, hey, remember, we've always been here. We're ready to help you again. All right, now that we set the stage and traveled back through history, let's bring it into the here and now. How do crystals actually help us on our healing journey? I want you to imagine this. You are not just a physical body walking around in the world, you are an energy field, a whole auric system, a frequency. And running through that system are your energy centers, your chakras. Now, when those energy centers are balanced, when they are flowing, you feel alive, clear, connected. But when they're blocked, when you've got gunk, stuck energy, or old trauma lodged in there, you feel it. Anxiety, fatigue, emotional heaviness, overthinking, disconnection. And this is where crystals come in. They are like tuning forks for our chakras. Each crystal vibrates at a certain frequency that resonates with a particular energy center, helping to bring it back into alignment. They don't force healing, they invite it. They create the conditions for your body and soul to remember balance. So let's walk through the chakras together, and I'll share some of my favorite crystal allies for each of these. When your root chakra is balanced, I did say shoot, I don't know why. But when your root chakra is balanced, you feel secure, grounded, supported by life. When it's out of balance, you might feel unsafe, anxious, unsteady. Crystals that support the root chakra are typically dark, earthy, and red, like red jasper, known as the stone of endurance. It's like that friend who reminds you, you got this, keep going. Smoky quartz is my go-to for grounding. If you've been in your head spinning with thoughts, smoky quartz pulls that energy down into your body. Hematite is literally magnetic. If you hold hematite, it feels heavy and solid. It is like a direct line to the earth's core. The sacral is your center of passion, sensuality, and creative energy. When it is blocked, you might feel uninspired, numb, or disconnected from joy. Crystal allies for this one are carnelian. Oh my goodness, this stone is like your hype friend. It brings passion, motivation, and gets that creative fire burning. Then there's orange calcite, which is softer. It's more playful and brings back that inner child joy. And moonstone balances the feminine energy here, connecting you to your cycles and intuition. Carnelian to me is like the espresso shot of crystals. If you've been feeling stuck in a rut, uninspired, or scrolling endlessly looking for motivation, carnelian is like, says to me, girl, put your phone down and go create something already. The solar plexus chakra is your power, confidence, and willpower. This is your personal sun, your power center. When balanced, you feel confident, decisive, strong. When blocked, you might feel powerless, insecure, or constantly doubting yourself. To help with this one, try citrine, the stone of abundance and joy. It uplifts your energy and helps you step into confidence. Tiger's eye is powerful for courage and willpower. It is like a spiritual pep talk. And then there's pyrite. Oh, yes, fool's gold, but it is no fool. Pyrite is about money, manifestation, and protecting your energy while you step into your power. Citrine to me is literally like sunshine in a crystal. You cannot hold citrine and be grumpy at the same time. It is like holding a beam of happiness. The heart chakra, oh, the heart. This is where we often hold so much grief and heartbreak and walls of protection. Crystals here are typically green or pink, opening us up to love, self-love, divine love, human love. Your crystal allies here can be rose quartz, which is the classic. It's gentle, soft, and nurturing. Green aventurine, known as the stone of luck and opportunity, but it's really about opening your heart to life's possibilities. And then there's malachite, deep healing here. This is not a gentle stone. Malachite will dig into your wounds and pull the poison out. It is a powerful one. Rose quartz is like that warm hug you didn't even know you needed. While malachite, that's the tough love friend who's like, sweetie, let's rip off that bandage and actually heal this wound. The throat chakra is for truth, expression, and communication. And when balanced, you speak your truth with clarity and love. When it's blocked, you might feel like you can't express yourself or you hold back your voice. And your crystal allies here, your best buddies are going to be blue lace agate, which is gentle and soothing. It helps calm anxiety around speaking. Aquamarine is clear flowing communication. Like water, it helps words move smoothly. Sodalite connects truth and intuition. So you're not just speaking from the mind, but from inner knowing. When your third eye is open, you see clearly, not just physically, but spiritually. Crystal allies, to unblock your third eye, you can use amethyst, another classic. It's calming, spiritual, and helps with meditation. Lapis lazuli is deep wisdom, truth, and spiritual insight. And fluorite helps clear the mental fog, enhancing focus and intuition. Amethyst is like the starter pack for spiritual seekers. Practically everyone has one. And there's a reason though. It is like the Netflix subscription of crystals. It is universal, accessible, and it never fails to deliver. Then finally, we have our crown chakra, your connection to spirit and oneness. This is your bridge to the divine. When balanced, you feel connected to source, to your higher self, to the universe. Here you can use clear quartz, which is the master healer. It amplifies all energy. Selenite is pure white light, cleansing, connecting, angelic. And apophyllite is uplifting, high vibe, and opens portals to higher realms. Holding selenite is like plugging yourself into source energy. It is not subtle. It's instant light pouring through you. Now, here's the thing. Yes, these are recommended, those are my air quotes, recommended crystals for each chakra. But I want to empower you to trust your own intuition. If you feel called to a stone that doesn't match the book's definition, trust that. Your energy knows exactly what it needs. And now let's address the skeptic voice for a second, because I know some of you listening might be thinking, okay, Jessica, but are you seriously telling me a piece of quartz can fix my problem? And here's the answer. No. The crystal isn't fixing you. You're fixing you. The crystal is a mirror. It amplifies what is already within you. It reminds you of your capacity to heal, and that is why they are allies. Not the whole medicine, but a beautiful powerful part of the medicine. So now that we've covered the chakras and crystal allies, let's get into the part everyone really wants to know. How the heck do I actually use these things? Because let's be honest, it's one thing to buy a pretty stone and set it on your dresser, and it's another thing to integrate it into your daily healing practices. Oh my goodness. And here's the good news. It doesn't have to be complicated. Working with crystals can be as simple or as ceremonial as you want it to be. The easiest way to work with crystal energy, keep it on you. Literally, slip one in your pocket, tuck one in your bra. And if you carry crystals, don't pretend you haven't done this already. But just fair warning, if you haven't, they fall out at the least convenient times. I have forgotten about mine, and I will take my bra off at night and it will fall and hit me right on my toe, and of course right on the knuckle where it likes to hurt. But my favorite way is wearing them as jewelry. Necklaces, bracelets, rings. When I started my awakening, I was so very drawn to crystals for the very first time in my life, and suddenly began instinctively working with them and started making my own jewelry. And it's something I still do. The point is that when you carry a crystal with you, you are allowing its frequency to resonate with your field all day. It is like having a supportive friend walking alongside you. Now, crystals aren't just for your body. They're also for your environment. Put black tourmaline by the front door for protection. Keep a piece of citrine in your wallet or near where you handle money. It is the stone of abundance. Place amethyst by your bedside for peaceful sleep and dreams. Or grid your space. You can place crystals in 4 corners of your room or home to create an energetic shield. I remember one time when I started, I gridded my whole apartment with selenite and black tourmaline. And let me tell you, the energy truly shifted. It was like my whole space exhaled. I actually felt lighter walking through my front door. And well, let's see. This is where things are going to get juicy now. Using crystals in meditation helps you tune in more deeply. Hold a crystal in your hand while you meditate and notice how the energy feels. Place it on the corresponding chakra. For example, if you were meditating laying down, place the amethyst on your third eye or a rose quartz on your heart. Surround yourself with a circle of crystals and sit in the middle. This is called a crystal grid meditation. And here's a tip. Don't overthink it. You don't need a fancy setup. Sometimes I will just sit cross-legged with a crystal in my palm and breathe. That's it. And still, I feel the difference. Now, if you're someone who loves structure and symbolism, like moi, crystal grids are going to be your best friend. I have a few of these in different areas of my home, all set with different intentions. A crystal grid is when you arrange crystals in a pattern, usually based on sacred geometry, to amplify a specific intention. Think of it like setting up an energetic broadcast tower. For example, want to manifest abundance? Use citrine, pyrite, and green aventurine in a grid on the flower of life pattern. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. They're beautiful. I love them. They almost look like mandalas, which I love also. Looking for love, you can use rose quartz, rhodonite, and green aventurine. Protection, use black tourmaline, obsidian, and smoky quartz. You place them intentionally. You set your prayer intention, and the grid holds that energy. Now here's the fun part. Once you create a grid, you don't have to babysit it. You can leave it up for weeks, even months, and just refresh it every so often. It's like a spiritual Wi-Fi signal pulsing in your space. Crystals can also work while you sleep. Slip one under your pillow or keep one on your nightstand. Amethyst for peaceful dreams. Lepidolite for anxiety release. Black tourmaline if you're prone to nightmares or psychic interference. I'll be honest, sometimes this can backfire. I once, kind of experimenting, put a piece of moldavite under my pillow before bed. And that was a big mistake. My dreams were so wild, I woke up sweating like I had been on a cosmic roller coaster. So, word of advice, start with gentle crystals when it comes to sleep crystals. You can also pair crystals with your journaling. Sit down with your journal. Choose a crystal you feel called to work with. Hold it in your hand, breathe with it, and ask, what message do you have for me today? Then just start writing. You would be amazed what comes through. Sometimes the crystal becomes like a channel, opening you up to wisdom you didn't even know that you had. Some journaling prompts that you can try with your crystals are like, what energy am I calling in today? What am I ready to release? Or how can I align more deeply with my authentic self? Working with crystals doesn't have to be a special occasion kind of a thing. Make them part of your daily ritual. In the morning, before you leave the house, pick a crystal intuitively, hold it, set an intention, and carry it with you. At night, place your crystals on a selenite charging plate so they can cleanse while you sleep. Use crystals in your bath. But if you're going to do this, just be careful because not all crystals are water safe. Selenite, for example, will literally melt like sugar if you put it in water. So don't do that. And here's the thing. Don't get caught up in doing it right. This is not about rules. It's about relationship. Crystals respond to your energy, your intention, your presence. There is no way to work with them if your heart is in the right place. Unless you try to eat them. Please don't eat your crystals no matter what TikTok or anybody tells you. So whether you're carrying them, meditating with them, gritting your space, or just letting them sit in your palm while you journal, the most important thing is this. Be intentional. Energy follows intention, and crystals, they amplify whatever you put into them. All right, so you've got your crystals, you're carrying them, meditating with them, maybe even sleeping with them. Now let's talk about crystal care, because crystals are like us. They absorb energy, they hold onto it, and sometimes they need a reset. I like to think of crystals as little energetic sponges. Just like your body and aura pick up energy throughout the day, other people's moods, environments, stress, your crystals, they do too. And if you don't cleanse them, they can start to feel heavy or dull. So let's get into the many ways, it's not that many, but that you can care for them, you can cleanse them, you can recharge them so they stay vibrant and they're always ready to support you. There really are many ways to cleanse crystals, but the best part is that you can choose what feels aligned for you, okay? Running water can cleanse many crystals, especially those that are harder like quartz or amethyst. Important note though, not all crystals are water safe. Like we said, selenite. Malachite also is another one. Many softer stones will literally dissolve or get damaged. So before you dunk your crystal in water, double check. Think of water cleansing like giving your crystal a refreshing shower. You can also bury crystals in sea salt overnight. Salt draws out stagnant or heavy energy. Again, not all crystals love salt. It can scratch or damage softer stones, but for the tougher ones, it works beautifully. Now, this is my absolute favorite. Place your crystals outside or on a windowsill during the full moon. The full moon's energy will both cleanse them and charge them. I'm all about the twofer. That works for me. There's something so magical about gathering your crystals, laying them out under the night sky, and letting the moon bathe them in light. Some crystals love the sun, like citrine or carnelian. But here again, be careful because others like amethyst can fade if left in direct sunlight. And we don't want to lose that pretty purple color because purple is too pretty. So think of it like a quick recharge and not an all-day tanning session. Using sacred smoke like sage, palo santo, incense is a very gentle way to cleanse crystals. Just pass them through the smoke with intention. I like to, as I'm saging and doing palo santo around the apartment, I like to all over smoke out my crystals and just say, I release all energies that do not serve. May this crystal return to its pure vibration. And then sound cleanses too. Singing bowls, bells, tuning forks, All of these vibrational tools can clear away stagnant energy from crystals. Just place your crystal near the sound, or if you got singing bowls, walk around with your singing bowls and let the vibrations do the work. Once you've cleansed the crystal, it is now like an empty vessel. Now it's time to charge it, to fill with energy and intention. And here are a few ways that you can do this very easily. Like we said, moonlight charging. The full moon is very powerful for this. Sunlight charging. Make sure your crystal is sun safe though first. Earth charging. You can literally bury your crystals in the soil overnight and let the earth recharge them. I would suggest, if you're going to do that, to put them all into like a little mesh bag before doing it, so that way you can pull them all up at the same time and you know that they're nice and clean. Well, as clean as they're going to be. Or selenite plates. This is another one of my favorites. Selenite itself is self-cleansing. So these you do not have to put through a cleansing ceremony, but they will charge all of your other crystals. So placing your crystals on that plate or wand recharges them. And I have both a bowl and a wand, and I love them. And most importantly, set an intention when you're charging them. Hold the crystal and say out loud, I charge this crystal with the energy of love, healing, and clarity. Whatever it is, your voice is so powerful. It programs the crystal with your vibration. Now, here's where I get a little woo, but it's real. Crystals are alive. Not in the same way we are. I'm not crazy. I said a little woo. But energetically, they are alive and they respond to relationship. So spend time with them. Meditate while holding them. Talk to them. Yes, talk to your crystals. Whisper your intentions. Whisper and speak out loud your gratitude. Some people even sleep with a brand new crystal under their pillow for the first week, just to bond with its energy, like getting to know a new friend. Now, this is something that sometimes will shock a lot of people, so I will prepare you. Sometimes your crystals will break, or even weirder, they'll vanish. And it's not random. Crystals breaking often means that they've absorbed all they needed to, or they've completed their work with you. It's like their way of saying, job's done. If your crystal breaks, 3 things you can do with them. You can keep the pieces and still work with them if they're workable pieces. You can gift a piece to somebody. It might be meant to continue its work through somebody else. Or you can return it to the earth, bearing it with gratitude. And that's usually what I do. When crystals disappear, don't panic. It usually means their work with you is complete. I can't tell you how many times I've lost a crystal. I'm actually in the process of looking for one over the last couple of days that I'm like, I know this crystal was there with my smoky quartz, but it's not there now. But for some reason, they will reappear weeks, months later, and right when you need it again. So it's like they have their own timing, their own little consciousness. Sometimes I like to think crystals are like cats. They'll leave, they'll disappear, and then they come back on their own terms whenever it is that they feel like it. So here's the bottom line. Caring for your crystals is not about being perfect or following a rigid rule book. It is about respect, intention, and relationship. Cleanse them when they feel heavy. Charge them when you want to work with them. And listen. Listen to how they feel in your hand, in your heart. They will guide you if you pay attention. Because remember, crystals are partners on your journey. And just like any partnership, the more you love and the more love and care that you put into it, the more they are going to give back. So we've gone into the history, chakras, healing practices, and caring for your crystals. So let's talk about something a lot of people don't realize. Crystals aren't just woo-woo spiritual tools. They are deeply physical. They interact with us in the 3D, tangible, material world. And here's the kicker. We already use crystals in everyday technology. You may not know this, but the phone you're holding, the watch on your wrist, the computer you're listening through, they all rely on crystals. So let me get a little nerdy here, but I promise to keep it fun. Crystals have something called piezoelectric effect. It means when you apply pressure to a crystal, like quartz, it generates an electrical charge, and vice versa. When you run electricity through it, the crystal vibrates at a precise frequency. This is why quartz is used in watches. It keeps perfect time. And it's why crystals are used in radios, computers, and satellites. We literally rely on crystals to store and transmit energy. So, if crystals can do that in our technology, why wouldn't they be able to connect and interact with us? After all, our bodies are bioelectric systems, our hearts, our brains, our nervous system. They all run on electrical signals. So when you hold a crystal, its vibration interacts with your field. Now let's pull it down to a more spiritual perspective. Crystals are born in the earth. They take millions of years to form. Heat, pressure, minerals, time. When you hold one, you are literally holding Earth's history in your hand. This makes crystals incredible grounding tools. They remind us you are part of this planet. You belong here. You are supported. For anyone who feels disconnected, like you're floating ungrounded too in your head, working with crystals like hematite, smoky quartz, or obsidian can help you anchor back into your body, into this 3D reality. Because yes, we are spiritual beings. Yes, we love talking about higher dimensions and cosmic wisdom, but we're also here in human bodies paying bills, eating food, navigating relationships. Crystals are like little bridges. They connect our spirit to our body, reminding us that this earthly experience is sacred too. So let's talk about how the crystals actually affect your body in physical ways. Relaxation and stress relief. Holding amethyst or lepidolite can calm your nervous system. Their frequency resonates with your brain waves, guiding them into a more relaxed state. It's actually something that helps with a lot of people who have like ADHD or other imbalances emotionally. It's actually one crystal I have trouble working with because when I work with it, it actually gives me a headache. It's definitely not meant for me. Focus and clarity. Fluorite is often used is called a study stone. It helps clear mental fog, which can actually improve focus when you're working. I actually always keep one on my laptop when I'm writing. They are grounding to the nervous system. Black tourmaline has been studied for its ability to neutralize electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs. Placing it near electronics or carrying it on your body helps reduce overstimulation. And if you've ever felt the weight of a stone in your hand and noticed your body relax, you know exactly what I mean. Sometimes it's not about a mystical experience. It's about a physical reminder. Slow down, breathe, you are safe. Here's another way crystals connect us to the 3D. They mirror our state back to us. Ever notice how sometimes you're drawn to a certain crystal and other times it feels off or you can't even stand to hold it? That is not random. Crystals interact with your energy field. If you're drawn to a crystal, it's often because you're aligned with its vibration or you're seeking its medicine. If you suddenly don't want to hold a crystal that you used to love, it might mean you've integrated its lesson or you're not ready to face what it's going to bring up. For example, I went through a season when I could not stop carrying rose quartz. It felt like oxygen to me. And then one day, like bam, I just could not stand it anymore. It's like I would hold it and it felt sticky and overwhelming. And then I realized I had done the heart healing work that I needed when I was working with that crystal. It wasn't about the crystal changing. It was about me shifting. This is why I always say crystals are partners. They meet you where you're at. They're not abstract. They reflect your very real, very human experience back to you. We can't ignore the fact that we are embodied souls. And crystals, being tangible physical allies, help us to honor that embodiment. Sometimes healing feels overwhelming because it's intangible. We can't always see energy shifts. We can't always measure intuition. But when you have a crystal in your hand, suddenly healing feels real. You can touch it. You can feel its weight. You can place it on your body. And that gives your mind and nervous system a cue. Healing is happening. I am supported. It's like the difference between thinking about breathing and actually taking a deep breath. One is mental, the other is physical, and it changes everything in an instant. So, in this 3D world, crystals remind us that spirituality is not separate from the physical. It's woven into it. Every time you hold a crystal, you're not just connecting with energy, you are connecting with earth, with your body, and with the sacred reality of being human. So, okay, we've grounded crystals, oh my goodness, in history, chakras, healing practices, care, and their very 3D connection. So let's step into the part of crystals that makes most of us light up, and that is the spiritual connection. Because yes, crystals are physical, they're minerals, structures, molecules, but they are also spiritual tools, allies, and amplifiers. They hold wisdom from the earth and act as gateways to higher dimensions. Have you ever held a crystal and felt like you were being transported somewhere? Like it wasn't just a stone, like it was a key? That's because crystals are often described as portals. An amethyst can take you into dream realms, deep meditation, or past life memories. Labrador, oh my goodness, this one always makes me crazy. Labradorite is known as the stone of magic. It is often used by shamans to access other planes. And I have so much of this stone, and I always scream when I have to say it. Clear quartz is like a cosmic antenna. I guess we all have a weakness. It amplifies your connection to source, spirit, or whatever you call the divine. Like I said, that is your master healer stone. When we meditate with crystals, we're not just calming the mind. We're opening doors. Crystals are like energetic maps. They carry a frequency that can guide us into spaces our consciousness might not even access on its own. One of the most profound spiritual gifts crystals offer is protection. Energy we know is everywhere, and if you're empathic or sensitive, you know how overwhelming it can feel to walk into a crowded space or hold someone's hand and suddenly feel every single thing that they're carrying. Crystals act as filters. They help you to keep what is yours and release what is not. Black tourmaline is one of the strongest protectors. It will absorb and transmute negative energy. Obsidian creates a shield reflecting back anything that doesn't belong to you. And again, labradorite cloaks your energy fields so you're less likely to take on other people's stuff. Again, that's why I have so much of it. Wearing a protective crystal, carrying one in your pocket, placing them in your doors, windows, it's like creating spiritual boundaries without having to say a word. But now this is where crystals get very magical. Whatever intention you set, crystals will amplify it. They don't just do the work for you, they work with you. If you set a crystal with the intention of healing your heart, that energy gets magnified every time you hold it or even walk past it. If you place crystals around your altar, they amplify your prayers. If you grid your home with crystals, they amplify peace, protection, or abundance in that space. Clear quartz, especially, like I said, master amplifier, it can boost the vibration of all your other stones, your intentions, and even the energy of a room. It is like having an energetic microphone. It makes your inner voice louder in the spiritual realm. We know that dreams are portals too, and crystals can help guide them. An amethyst under your pillow is said to enhance intuitive dreams and help you remember them. Lepidolite brings peaceful sleep and reduces nightmares. Moonstone can awaken prophetic dreams and connect you with lunar wisdom. One of my favorite practices is to set an intention before sleep. Show me what I need to see. And place a crystal under my pillow or on my nightstand. More often than not, the dream that comes through is more vivid, symbolic, and definitely guiding. Crystals don't just support us while awake. They bridge our subconscious and our spiritual selves during sleep also. Crystals are also incredible meditation partners, Holding a crystal while meditating can help to deepen your focus, calm those racing thoughts when you're trying to get into meditation, and also open your third eye or crown chakra for spiritual downloads. They anchor you so your spirit feels safe to journey. For channelers, mediums, or anyone who connects with guides, crystals are like energetic translators. They help refine the signal, making it easier to receive messages without interference. And just like in the 3D, crystals mirror us back on the spiritual level too. Sometimes a crystal will trigger something, a memory, a feeling, a vision. This is not random. It's your higher self using the crystal as a mirror, showing you what's ready to be seen. That's why spiritual growth with crystals isn't always soft and gentle. Sometimes it can be very intense. Moldavite, like I said, for example, famous for catalyzing sudden drastic shifts. If you're not ready, it can feel overwhelming. But if you are, it can fast track your evolution. Here's a simple but powerful ritual you can try. Sit in a quiet space with a crystal you feel drawn to for spiritual work, amethyst, labradorite, or quartz. Hold it in your hand or place it on your third eye. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Set an intention. Show me what I need to know. Simply listen, notice images, words, or sensations that arise. This doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle, a thought that comes out of nowhere, a soft nudge, a deep calm. That's the crystal working with your higher self. Crystals are not just stones, they're spiritual allies. They open portals, protect your energy, amplify your intentions, and connect you to wisdom beyond the physical. In a way, they remind us that the spiritual isn't out there. It's woven into the very earth beneath our feet. Every time you hold a crystal, you're holding both the history of the earth and the possibility of the cosmos. And that to me is pure. It's pure magic. As we come to the close of today's episode, I want to invite you to pause for just a moment and just reflect. Think back on everything we explored together, because it was a lot. The ancient roots of crystals in human history, how they align with our chakras and energy centers, their role in physical healing and emotional release, how to care for them as allies, not just objects, their connection to the 3D, grounding us here on Earth, and their spiritual magic as protectors, portals, and amplifiers. Crystals are so much more than pretty rocks. They are companions on our healing journey. They carry the wisdom of the earth at the same time, the whispers of the cosmos. I invite you to take just one thing from today's episode and apply it to your life this week. Maybe it's carrying a grounding stone like hematite or black tourmaline with you as you move through your day. Maybe it's sitting in meditation with an amethyst or quartz and asking for guidance. Maybe it's simply placing a rose quartz by your bedside and allowing love to infuse your dreams. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's about connection, your connection to the earth, your energy, and your soul. Remember this. The crystal itself isn't what's creating the healing you are. The crystal is simply a mirror, an amplifier, a guide. It reflects back to you the power, balance, and light that already live inside of you. When you work with crystals, you're not reaching for something outside of yourself. You are remembering what has always been within. As you move forward today, may you feel grounded like the stones, open like the quartz, and expansive like the stars they mirror. May every crystal you touch remind you of your own crystalline light, pure, radiant, and unbreakable. And may you always know you are your own healer, your own guide, your own authentic self. Thank you so much for joining me today on this extended version of Awaken Your Authentic Self. If this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to share it with someone who might be on their own healing journey. And if you feel called, leave a review. It truly helps this message reach more beautiful souls around the world. Until next time, keep shining, keep grounding, and keep awakening into the truth of who you are.